Welcome to Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse. Your Health Today is presented by Modexus, a natural health and opportunity company connecting people, products, and prosperity, and by the Medicine Man's Corner, home of the Medicine Man, Dr. Charlie Rouse. And now, here's the host of Your Health Today, Chris Hall.
Well, welcome to Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse. I'm Chris Hall, your host. Dr. Rouse, obviously, joining us today for our program as we're going to be kind of talking about some things that we know are very important when it comes to maintaining our good health and maintaining ourselves during these challenging days. We're changing into the seasons now. We're going out of summer into the fall season of the year. And Dr. Rouse, as I'm traveling about in our beautiful country, especially here in the South Georgia area where we live, I see all the yellow stuff beginning to make itself known along the side of the roads, that ragweed, whatever that stuff is. And I put myself on high alert when I begin to see all of that make its appearance, because then I know Brother Chris has got to get out everything that Dr. Charlie has given him for seasonal allergies to keep my nose clear, to keep my throat, in where I need it to be, so I can, preach the word of God and be on our programs. And so here comes all of this stuff and X Clear. So you tell me if I'm doing good. I got my X Clear. I got my zinc. I'm hydrating my nose and, the nasal passages. I'm drinking plenty of water. Am I doing good? Is there something I need to add to all of that to make sure I stay clear?
Chris, I'll give you some encouragement. I'm Dr. Charlie Rouse, the medicine man, and that goldenrod gets me too. We're down here in South Georgia, and we've got these big old airplanes that fly down out of the sky, and they spray everything they want to, without even getting in on the tractor in the field. And sometimes I believe some of them sprays might come on over in the wind and get in my nose.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt that ragweed or goldenrod is a September, October, November Georgia variety, and they can play havoc. Now, you mentioned the X Clear, which is xylitol, comes from the bark of a birch tree. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You look at that birch tree, the bark is white, sugary white. And the old Cherokee Indians used that bark for a lot of their medicinals. And we learned from them that it's good against infection and sinuses and all kinds of stuff. So you keep up the good work. That xylitol spray that you sprayed in your nose is actually doing you a good service. So You're a good man. Keep it up.
And, from what I understand, in the COVID season we're in and we continue to be in, that your first line of defense is your nasal passage. And from what I understand, the xylitol is, it kind of builds yourself up there and makes a good front line of defense for any, COVID that might be hanging around. Is that right?
That is 100% correct. And you look at COVID as just simply a virus. Statistically, since you mentioned COVID, and I'll very briefly say this, with the deaths, and every death is tragic, but the world sees death every day, and they need to make their soul, spirit journey ready. And in COVID, and I'm talking about with everybody who died of COVID. And look, they're even saying some people died and they don't even know whether they had COVID. Right, but let's go ahead and attribute COVID to every single death that they thought was COVID related. And then you know what the death rate was with COVID in the last 2 years? 0.26%. So that means that 99.7% of everybody who got it, got a bad case of it, did not die.
Yeah.
Only 0.26%. Now, you can give me any medical condition in the world that would have a 0.26% chance of killing me. Yeah. And I'll live with that because I don't know how they were able to make a pandemic fear, a real anxiety, worry me to death phenomenon out of it. And now they got people mandating to get jabbed and mandating to do this and that. There's something wrong, Chris. But nonetheless, what I learned, and you and I told everybody on our podcast, it is your immune system that God gave you. And your natural immunity is better than ever. Hey, and all the drug companies that make the vaccines are now admitting that your natural immunity is better than their shot. Yeah. And, you know, somebody who got corona, somebody who actually got a case of it, their body built up for them by God's building an immunity that's better than any shot or second shot or even third shot. So you just can't outdo God. God is awesome.
Yeah, and just build up that immunity, and your natural immunity, and pray every day and walk with the Lord.
I tell you what, especially pray about, don't have to worry about or get anxious about, because some people really did. Yeah. I believe, Chris, they worried themselves into getting sick.
Yeah, could be. We're intricately made, as our Lord said, and so we're all wound together. Our physical, our mental, our emotional, we're all wound together. And so we trust in the Lord and do everything that reasonably to keep ourselves healthy and to keep our immune system up. So let's talk about a few things today. By the way, we're very grateful for Modexus, for this wonderful company for making our program possible and their support of Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse. Let's talk a little bit about vitamin C. Now, here's what me and Miss Averse is doing, my dear bride. We're taking a vitamin C supplement every day. We're also, drinking some orange juice. We try to keep orange juice handy, and we're getting some good old navel oranges as well. And we eat those things on a regular basis because we understand how important vitamin C is, especially when we take our glutathione every day. That vitamin C acts, I guess, as an energizing agent, and that's my way of putting it, for vitamin C. So let's talk a little bit about vitamin C. Everybody needs vitamin C every day. We need to send that out. Is that true? Is that right?
That is ditto. And the truth is that Linus Pauling, when he did, we're talking about some of the most intensive research in the world on vitamin C, just good old plain vitamin C. And that Florida orange is worth its weight in gold. I'll tell you some things that you probably don't know about vitamin C. Yes, it is for colds. Yes, it boosts your immune system and defends the viruses. But did you know that vitamin C is probably the most important vitamin for your teeth?
Really? Cool.
Yeah, your teeth. The older we get, the more apt they are to break and chip off. Yeah. That's because you didn't take enough vitamin C while you were younger. So start young, take it every day, and come in there. I'll tell you something else about vitamin C that you probably didn't know, that it's one of the most important nutritional elements in preventing shingles.
Oh, yeah.
That people who get shingles are generally very vitamin C deficient. Yeah. And so if somebody comes in, Chris, and they have a bad case of shingles and they burn all over and they hurt to the bone, I tell them right quick, let's get you on at least 1,000, better 2,000, maybe even 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C every morning. Start your day there. Yeah. I'll tell you a third thing about vitamin C that most people don't know, that people that are prone to atrial fibrillation, AFib, where the heart wants to jump out of sync and skip a beat and thump a bump. Almost all of our patients with AFib are vitamin C deficient. Hey, and by the way, we mentioned worry a while ago, or anxiety. Did you know that anytime you have a worrisome moment, you automatically wash all of your vitamin C out.
Really?
So if you're a worrier, you better get back to the vitamin C regimen, because look, we don't just need to defend from colds. We need to protect your teeth. We need to look after your heart. And then a fourth thing I'm going to tell you about vitamin C, most people don't know, is that people that are prone to asthma, they have a hard time exercising, because they say that more exercise creates more asthma. But we've learned that if you give them a good, healthy, high dose of vitamin C every morning, that our asthma patients can actually go out and exercise.
Cool.
So vitamin C is more than just boosting your immune system to colds. It's actually becoming, in autism spectrum, in autism where children have these difficulties concentrating and socially getting along with others. Sometimes it's a heavy metal toxicity. And they wondered, how can we get heavy metals out of kids? And vitamin C does that.
Wow.
So there's a lot of good to vitamin. Hey, thanks for asking me that question, because I'm a big advocate. I study Linus Pauling's research, and all of that is clinically documented in the research.
Well, that's great. Now, do you need a supplement along? If you eat orange every day, for instance, or drink a glass of orange juice, is that sufficient, or do we need a supplement of vitamin C? Now, we take a supplement at our house, but we also do the other thing as well. Can you get too much vitamin C, or do you need a little supplement to kind of build it up?
Well, the answer to the too much is that it'll give people diarrhea. If you ever hit the too much level, you'll get the scoots. Gotcha. And then you just back off and you'll be normal. But usually if somebody's into fruits and vegetables, like they eat cherries and they love the orange and they drink the juices, I would say they are totally sufficient. Now, Dr. Charlie, because I just did the studies on the shingles and the detoxing of the heavy metals and the helping my heart not to fibrillate, Dr. Charlie makes sure that every morning in my little smoothie, I got me a little powder jar of C, and I just give me about a quarter of a teaspoon, and I don't know how many milligrams it is. I just feel better that, hey, I put some more C in my juice.
There you go. Well, vitamin C, we're a big supporter of vitamin C. Also, recently we had the joy of carrying our grandchildren down to Florida. Had a great time at the beach. It was absolutely beautiful. My wife and I and our daughter and our grandchildren went down to Florida, enjoyed it very much. My granddaughter is 15 years of age. Very, very mature. Kids these days are amazing to me. She's homeschooled and she's very mature. And we have adult conversations. She's a 15-year-old, but she loves to drink green tea. Now, she's very health conscious. My granddaughter is, and she gets that from, me talking with her as well as our daughter. But she loves green tea. Now, she has different varieties of teas that she loves to drink. And I'm sitting there thinking, how many 15-year-olds love green tea? They like coffee and things like that, I know. But she loves green tea. And I tell her constantly, honey, you're doing great, because there is so much benefit from green tea, and I drink it as well. I love my coffee, but I'll give me some green tea as well. Talk a little bit about, we in the South, we love our sweet tea. It may not love us back as we ought to have, but the health benefits of green tea, warm, hot green tea. Talk a little bit about the benefits of green tea for us.
You're a blessed man, Chris, to have a 15-year-old granddaughter with such wisdom. And one day send her over here to the medicine man and let's make her the medicine woman, because we need those. We need those young vibrants. Green tea has a property that we have studied medicinally for years. It's in the plant polyphenol factory. They call it a catechin. I think it's easier to remember the word green tea. It's exclusively unique to the human body in that it has no toxicity, but it really does fend off, fight off, and fortify the body to be antiviral. Is not corona a virus? Yeah. So how many people in their green tea understanding, they became real advocates of it. And it has a way of balancing the immune system. But the reason we use green tea around here at the Medicine Man regularly and faithfully is that it's one of the best nutritions, Chris, to detox the liver. And look, the liver has to try to fend off, fight off, and filter out every known chemical, including bad chemistry. And if you have a friend or family who still likes to drink alcoholic beverages, green tea would be a good one to put in their regular diet to keep their liver on the healthy side. Think of green tea as probably one of the most powerful free radical scavengers. That means antioxidant to the extreme. And green tea is created by God. And in the chemistry that God created, when we look at it medicinally, it has an anti-endotoxin effect. In other words, anything that's toxic that wants to get inside a cell, we don't like that because it can cause cancer and it can cause disease. And green tea, by God's design, gets to chase down all those little bad guys. The toxins go inside the cell, clean it out, and bring it back out. And so there you go. I've seen people drink green tea regularly to eliminate nausea. So if you know somebody who's pregnant and having morning sickness, green tea would be the perfect drink for them. I've seen people who just lose their appetite, like in elderly people. Sometimes they say, Dr. Charlie, I just don't feel like eating. Green tea will give them a normal appetite, but not make them ravenous or over rambunctious in eating. I've used green tea for people who have abdominal discomfort. You know, they say, oh, I got a little belly ache along the way. But here's one thing that green tea really will clear up quickly that most people don't know. Pruritus, that's when the skin wants to itch. Mm-hmm. And if you've got a scratchy spot that don't want to go away, you tell your granddaughter she's right. Green tea's healthy, and it really do the job and get rid of the itching. Yeah,
well, green tea. And that a child shall lead us. So green tea is a wonderful thing to have. And so Dr. Charlie Rouse sharing with us a great program today on our program, Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse. Let me give some particulars. Modexus is a great supporter of our program, and they offer products that are just world-class, on the cutting edge, wonderful products. We'll talk about that a little bit, but you can visit modexuspowerpurple.info, and that'll give you information about longevity and lift and tranquility and these wonderful products that Modexus offers for our good and for our benefit. You can visit Dr. Rouse's website, themedicineman.com, Dr. Rouse at att.net. Now, you spell all that out, Dr. Rouse at att.net. And you can shoot Dr. Rouse an email. He'll get back to you as soon as he can. YourHealthTodayPodcast.com. That's where all of our podcasts are. They're archived there, and you'll find a list of the subjects in each one of the podcasts. And if you find something you're interested in, they're always up to date, and you can check that out as well. If you're ever in Albany, beautiful Albany, and you want to visit Dr. Rouse, you can do so at the Medicine Man's Corner, 2416 Suite 4, Dawson Road, Albany, Georgia, 31707. Just stick that in there, and it'll bring you right to Dr. Rouse. And he'd be tickled pink. And, let's say tickled purple, since Modexus the color is purple. He'll be tickled purple to sit down and talk with you and just to visit with you. And you can visit him there. So, Dr. Charlie Rouse, Your Health Today, brought to you by Modexus. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back with more good information on Your Health Today.
Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse. We'll be right back.
The beautiful world we live in is also a toxic world. Today, more than ever, people are dealing with increased fatigue, the effects of stress, weaker immune systems, and the fear of new and dangerous health threats that can potentially affect all of us, including those we love. The importance of staying healthy and building up and supporting our immune system and the immune systems of those we love is something that's on all of our minds. This is why it's so exciting to introduce a world-class immune system support breakthrough in an exciting, new, and easy-to-use product called Lonicera Longevity by Modexus. Lonicera Longevity's science-backed formula is an all-in-one comprehensive approach to enhancing the immune system, featuring one of nature's brightest stars, the Lonicera caerulea superberry. To help cleanse your body of toxins, Lonicera Longevity delivers powerful antioxidants, iridoids, C3Gs, and a first-to-the-market dual-form glutathione. Longevity also supplies key minerals and immune-building components like zinc, selenium, vitamin D3, and much more. Lonicera Longevity by Modexus is truly the breakthrough immune support formulation of our time. Go now to powerofpurple.info and get your free download of the Longevity Smart Sheet. And better yet, why not get started on your optimal health journey by ordering Longevity today? Visit now the website powerofpurple.info. That's powerofpurple.info. Start your Modexus experience today. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Welcome back to Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse.
Okay, we're back with Dr. Charlie Rouse on our program today. Speaking of Modexus, Dr. Rouse, just kind of visit with us a little bit about this company that you're a partner with and what they offer. These products that you formulated, you helped formulate to put on the market, cutting edge, and they're gaining in popularity because of the effectiveness of these products, these natural products. Talk a little bit about Modexus and what they offer.
You know, Chris, you and I would agree that the steps of a good man are ordered by God. And 3 years ago, the steps of my life were brought into the pathway of Modexus, a new venture company. They were worldwide, international. They were ready to hit the world market. They had all of the financial resources, and they wanted to put together nutritional products that were of the highest quality. And knowing that I was a pharmacist, my main avenue of pharmacy is product formulations, natural product formulations. And my number one requirement is do no harm. No harm. But we also wanted something that would do a lot of good, better than good, something that would be unique. And Modexus was willing to partner with Dr. Charlie. And so far we got 4 products on the market for them. Immune system, they call it Lonicera Longevity Lift, which is a memory enhancing, energizing nutrition. Relieve, which relieves anything that's in the pain threshold. And Tranquility, that takes care of stress and at the same time gives people a better sleep, which obviously will lower their blood pressure. But Modexus is the power of purple. They use a purple berry, 2 purple berries in all of their products. And the uniqueness of it is that they are doing exquisitely well in England, Scotland, Japan, China, all the way over to the Philippines, Canada, and everywhere in the U.S. of A. So thank you for supporting them. Thank you for letting them support you in your podcast ministry. And one thing about it, we can recommend them with high confidence because we know where their products are coming from and we know what they're made of.
And I can promise you, Dr. Charlie and myself, we're not going to recommend something that we haven't vetted, we haven't tried, and we know is number one and top quality. So check out Modexus. And if you want more information about it, Dr. Charlie Rouse would he would love to communicate with you. Again, you can call Dr. Rouse, 229-436-0100. And you'll find all of that information on the screen here. And you can contact Dr. Rouse about Modexus and other things. Just a couple of other things to touch base on today, Dr. Rouse. Recently, I was talking with someone. They see me and they assume I know everything there is to know about natural medicine. I assure them very quickly. Listen, I'm a learner. I'm a student. I sit in the classroom with Dr. Rouse and I learn from Dr. Rouse. But they were asking me, speaking, you were mentioning getting a good night's rest. They were asking me about melatonin. And, is it safe? Is it effective? Can I take it? And will I feel groggy when I get up in the morning? Will it do something weird to me, throughout the day? And, of course, you've talked a lot about melatonin, which is a natural way to kind of smooth us out and help us to sleep and that kind of thing. So answer those questions. Melatonin, is it good? Is it safe? Can we take it? Is it natural? Is it something that's going to leave a residual whatever in our bodies? Talk a little bit about melatonin.
Dr. Charlie takes it every night, and I have never have had trouble sleeping. So it wasn't a sleep issue, but the medical benefits of melatonin are well researched, and it's probably one of the most important anti-aging nutritions in the world market. Melatonin first became popular for businesses when they went to night shifts, when people had to change from working in the day to working at night. And then when they get out of work at night and walk into the sunlight, their pituitary gland would get hyperexcitable and they couldn't sleep during the daytime, even after working all night, because of the pituitary gland getting out of whack. And melatonin became the number one resource for helping night shift workers. They would, after they got through working all night long, when it finally got to their bedtime, whatever morning hour that was, they would take one melatonin and sleep like a baby and be refreshed. It's the primary hormone of the pineal gland. That's in the brain itself. And it's very powerful. It's a chronobiotic. That means that it fixes the circadian rhythm, the bird cycle.
Yeah.
Birds know to go to bed at night, wake up in the morning. Right. And if somebody is a jet lagger, if you ever suffer from a jet lag, melatonin will correct that. Night shift workers, various neurological, psychological dysfunctions, like in autism and hyperactivity and depression and blindness, people that are blind, Alzheimer patients, mental retardation patients, they do exceedingly well with melatonin because it resynchronizes their sleep cycle. And I've even seen melatonin, Chris, help people with vertigo, dizzy spells, imbalances. And if somebody is not getting a good dream sleep, what they call a rapid eye movement REM cycle sleep, put them on melatonin. And you'll see that they can dream and sleep deep and come out refreshed. Yeah. Most people take 3 milligrams per nighttime dose. Me personally, I take 10 because I'm not doing it to sleep, but I'm doing it because it has the most powerful anti-aging effects that I know. Melatonin, wow, safe for everybody.
Safe for everybody. So check it out with Dr. Charlie Rouse at the Medicine Man's Corner in Albany, Georgia. Just one other question for our program today, and that is gut balance. Now, that sounds kind of, okay, we're going to talk about the gut. But, these days, and I may be right or may be wrong, as you get a little older, your ability, I think, to digest food and to do it naturally, do it in a good way, do it for the most benefit for yourself. We love good food. We love to eat. You and I, we love to eat. We love to get a hold of a good dish, and we love good food. But we don't want to pay the price for it a little later on. It may not be just an age-related thing. I don't know. But it seems as you get older, you might need a little help every now and then to digest what you eat and to get the best out of what you eat for, your best benefit, and for everything to work smoothly in the digestive tract. So I don't know if that's a good way of putting it.
That's a good way to put it, because you don't want it to work too smoothly. Everything goes too fast.
Yeah.
And you don't want it to be too slow, because then it gets stove up. But by the way, anybody who comes to Dr. Charlie and says, I'm belching or bloating, I'm discomforted, I'm just not comfortable in the colon, I say, remember this: it's number one nutrition. It's a 200-year-old product, and 25 years ago, I borrowed from a 200-year-old medicine, put the formula together. We call it Robert's formula. That was the original name 200 years ago. And Robert's formula is made with bromelain and cabbage leaf, the leaf of a cabbage, marshmallow roots, slippery elm, and echinacea. But anyhow, you put those in one capsule, Chris, and I mean any variety of inflammatory bowel problem, what your kids would say, belly aches. Mm-hmm. Granddaddy, I got a belly ache.
Yeah.
Robert's formula soothes. It'll put the fire out. It'll make that mucosal lining in that intestinal tract get healthy again. And Robert's formula is antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, which most of the viruses and bacteria and inflammation start in the gut. And if you'll assist your total digestive processes with Robert's formula, you'll never regret the day. You're not going to believe, Chris, how many people call us from all over the United States thanking us for the Roberts formula, because they say they might have gone through 20 years of medical misery with no hope of ever getting their colon back into shape. And Roberts formula has rescued hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah, isn't that great? I was speaking to somebody the other day at church. And, church is a very important part of my life. It's a very important part of your life as well. Speaking with somebody the other day at church, and they were telling me about, this thing going on with them and with their wife. And the first thing that came into my mind is, you need to go to talk to Dr. Charlie, And they said, yeah, that I do need to go talk to Dr. Charlie. When somebody comes in and says, well, Dr. Rouse, this is what's going on with me or a member of my family or something like that. I've seen you do this. I've been a fly on the wall in some of your consultations, there at the Medicine Man Corner. And you listen and you say, well, this is a good suggestion for this, that, and the other. It's not that you have to take everything on the shelf. You never suggest everything on the shelf because, nobody could do that. But you do kind of target what people need when it comes to something natural. I've seen you do that. And sometimes, in our programs, people get overwhelmed. Well, I need this, I need this, I need this. But you actually will personalize, as you listen to these people, personalize, things that they really need. And I've seen you do that. And you would encourage people to come in and talk to you, right?
That's for sure. And boy, if we ever get their blood profile, man, that opens up the chest so we can see what's down into the gold mine and figure out what's there. People have asked me, though, Chris, out of 500 products you got on your shelf over there, would you say there's one product that you wouldn't want to do without every day? And I asked my wife this the other day. I said, we had to eliminate everything but one. Let's make sure that we take that stuff, that power of purple stuff, that Lama Sarah longevity, because in reality, it has everything that I need, all the minerals, all the vitamin C, all the B vitamins, and the glutathione. It's got everything in there. And I think, this is my personal opinion, I think, Chris, if we look after our immune system, God will look after us.
Yeah. Yeah, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Dr. Rouse, such a good program today. And thank you for the information that you have shared with us on Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse. And we're going to connect up soon, and we're going to talk some more about how things. If somebody asked me recently, is popcorn healthy for you? I said, well, Not too much butter, not too much salt. I think you're good.
Amen.
But who wants popcorn without butter and salt on it anyway? But we'll talk more about how we can stay healthy, strong, and fit the natural way. Dr. Rouse, thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to being with you again soon, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for our program today. Your Health Today is a presentation of Modexus, a natural health and opportunity company connecting people, products, and prosperity. To download free product smart sheets and to order your Modexus experience, visit powerofpurple.info. That's powerofpurple.info. Your Health Today is presented by the Medicine Man's Corner, home of Dr. Charlie Rouse, the Medicine Man. You can visit the Medicine Man's Corner at themedicineman.com and on Facebook at the Medicine Man Corner. Your Health Today podcast can be found at yourhealthtodaypodcast.com. Join us again next time for Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse.